Yo, conceived as one, split into two. Gonna talk so much shit till the air goes blue. After we're through, you're gonna wish you were monozygotic too. Just a couple of Nimpods up to no good. A couple of Nimpods up to no good. See what we're doing there? It's Nimrods. But it's a podcast with Nimpods.
Welcome to Nimpods 28. I'm Jamie Francis.
I'm Dan Francis.
And we are talking about stuff today. What is Nimpods about? What do you think when you say Nimpods? What does it mean? What does it mean to you?
Just a conversation.
You know what's interesting is
over the phone.
I was thinking about.
I love how our prolificness with our podcasts spiked when we're not actually in the same physical space.
I in a weird way, I kind of think this is easier. In a weird way.
Well, it's less distractions and stuff. Well,
yeah, it's like you kind of have to like niche out like 20 minutes or half an hour. No, actually, what I was gonna say is, not casually going into the same conversation, but like the pod couple, like pod guy, pod gal, and with pod, was it pod Paul? I got a big crack. This is like really meta, but like how Jeff is just Jeff.
He's not Pod Jeff?
No, he's not Pod Jeff. And like they've referenced it a few times, and they don't. And I even asked the question of like, I just love how it's just Jeff. He's not a pod yet. And I'm wondering if there's some sort of like initiation you need to do to become a pod person.
There's a hazing.
A pod person.
There's a hazing.
What's that?
There's a hazing.
There's a hazing. Yeah.
I think it's based off Paul's Squatter movie.
Oh, it's
probably something to do with some kind of satanic ritual.
Oh, I see. Anyway, that's
I know it.
Pretty meta pod talk there, but I just think it's. I always thought that was pretty funny. Jeff just obviously hasn't taken the next step.
He hasn't evolved,
huh?
He's still in his first stage Pokemon.
Yeah. We're talking about this podcast that Greg Tegler and Paul Whittington is on sometimes, and then Jeff Carpenter, who's actually in The Wrong People at the end. He's the Cash for Ash guy. And
also Shelly. I'm not sure of her last name, actually.
Oh, Shelly? Yeah, sorry.
Greg's partner.
What's that?
Greg's partner.
Partner, yeah. I unfortunately I forgot her name, so I tried to flow over that one. But no. I'm really... I have met her, so I apologize. I'm really bad with names, and it's something I really
great.
need to improve on. She seemed really cool. I mean, we briefly met them. You've hung out with them a little longer because you went to the Squatter screening.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, they seemed like really cool. A cool couple.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And awesome. I was like actually thinking about the pod couple and how like, we have Nimpods, like we have pod in our thing, and then I was thinking like Smodcast, like it's. And
there's a lot of casts.
Yeah, and we went with the pod thing, and also, but like having a pod or a cast in your name, kind of does give you this kind of a little bit of like fake confidence that you were there early. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, this goofy podcast thing.
Whatever works for you.
Was that?
Whatever works for you.
No, I just kind of had this interesting thought. Like, well, for me, it's interesting that people who stick pod or cast in their podcast name kind of comes off as like, oh yeah, we were here early. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know if Smodcast would be called Smodcast if it was started today. If you're trying to,
I think I know. I think I'm getting what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like
there's sort of like a stamp of like not original, but like you were doing podcasts, before 2016,
before it was cool. Like
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't listen to a lot of podcasts now, and just without having like that commute. I think a commute is very vital to the podcasting world.
Oh,
true or false?
Totally. I hate the two earbuds. Just can't do it.
That's what I'm doing right now. It's okay.
It just like it's I don't know. It's a weird brain thing. It just like it closes you into only your voice. It's just really quite weird. Anyway, yeah, so what's been going on? I feel like we do these Nimpods so regular now that it's like it's kind of we are kind of scraping for like conversation, but it's
not really that exciting. Well,
we
were talking,
but it's been pretty good lately. We've been doing some stuff. We finished that.
Well, I was actually looking into, because we were talking yesterday at our dad's house, because it was our sister's 27th birthday.
Oh yeah, Sister Katie, who's kind of our production assistant / basically. She does. I love Perry. He always made fun of us. He's like, "Oh, you just get your sister to do things that you don't want to do." I think we've even mentioned that on the podcast before, but it's like, yeah, of course. But yeah, she's 27 today. That's pretty crazy.
But yeah, last night we were having dinner at our dad's house, and you were talking about this simulation that Elon Musk thinks that we're living in. He's very Elon Musk is saying that we most definitely probably live in a simulation, and I've seen this talk been thrown around, but I haven't really delved into any videos and stuff. I figured that it was quite a rabbit hole that I'd probably getting into, so I sort of avoided it. But I started kind of, after you were talking about it last night, I was checking out on YouTube, and I saw some videos, and there's a lot of like all the big science guys like Tyson, Elon Musk, and Hawking. They are all saying about the simulation's probably very real, and it was actually a little scary because not a little scary, very scary. Elon Musk was saying that you better hope that it's a simulation. Yeah, there's really like 3 outcomes that it could have been, like that we're extinct. Second one, the future we're extinct. The second is we're not, the future us aren't interested in simulation. Yeah. Right? Not interested in, like, it's not something that it interests them. And third is that we are living in a simulation. So, yeah. Like, that's basically, I believe that was Elon Musk's theory. Yeah. His kind of the 3-point theory, where there's like basically like 3 options that could be happening. I find it very interesting. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm still not sure where I fall. Like, yeah. I think it quite possible. I mean, it's again, like, you know, it's just like anything. I guess you can't disprove it. So it's like, well, maybe, you know, it's kind of a hard one to think that we're in like a really hyper involved version of Sims. Is kind of fascinating, but also like I hate that game. Yeah. Well, there's never enough time, and then you realize that it's actually once you become an adult after playing Sims as a kid, going, there's never enough time to fit in your job and all this stuff, and then you realize when you're an adult that is very true. Like, well, when you're too depressed to like paint or like go to the bathroom, that's like when you're a little bit I love when they always get so frustrated and stuff, and it's no, you can't just have an espresso shot and go to work and not sleep all night. Yeah, it's like I'll just have I remember getting so frustrated with this, like, why can't you just go do that? Yeah. And I love how, like, in Sims, and I'm not sure if it's in any, I think the last Sims I played was like Sims 2 or something, but I loved it when you go to work, you never actually, they don't show them at work. It just, like, the time speeds up. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And it's just like, boom, you're back at work and back home, and you got to sleep and stuff. And it's like, yeah, man, that's fucking life. That's life for you. That's, well, because Sims, it's like, Sims nailed it. Yeah. All of a sudden it's 10 years later and you're like, just doing the same thing. Yeah. But the simulation kind of thing is interesting, because if that's all we know, mm-hmm. if our reality is the simulation, then that's, how would we know what, there's a video that kind of delved into this. How do we know that this is not this? Our reality is the simulation. Like, how would we know other than this? Yeah, exactly. Right. If like, you don't just break out of it. If the simulation is our world, then we don't know anything else. Yeah, like, it could be completely messed up. Anyway, yeah, that's quite a rabbit hole that you can go on forever. On the Francis Brothers Films front, we released a real short, like, 2.5 minute short that we shot in 2009. What's your thoughts on Cornac, the Dragon Slayer? It took a lot long. It was like a lot of work
For
I'm trying to think of what the nexus of the idea was. Like,
I don't remember it.
I think I just wanted to make the outfit for Jeff. And
I mean, the sword and the outfit is actually pretty dope.
Well, sword is clearly like a big chunk of wood. It's very thick.
It made sword sounds. Yeah, it's a little chunky. Like, it's a pretty thick sword.
Yeah. But it's okay. It's but I'm trying to think of what compelled me to do it. But I guess, or us to do it. But I remember it was made the costume and then kind of like put this kind of sort of little. It's almost like a commercial, right?
Yeah, I think
it could almost be like a GPS commercial or something.
Yeah.
It was during the time you used to do those pop tent ads. Is pop tent still around?
It was during that time, and I think the idea was that we were gonna
turning it into a pop tent ad,
doing it for something.
Is pop tent still around?
No, it like turned into something else, and then it sort of like up and left. Like it was like quite a crappy, like they just kind of like all of a sudden the doors were shuttered. It was,
wow, really?
I read that up on it after, but
because that was quite a while ago. It
was like it was around that time, 2009. I think it closed down probably in like 2010 or 11.
Oh yeah,
it was this place where, some things were really really quite cool about it. It was kind of taking like stuff like Upwork, freelance places like they are now. There's one for like graphic design. I forget what it's called. 99 Designs, I think, but it was kind of like for video and ads, and it was actually kind of cool. We actually created a Ben & Jerry's animation, Ben & Jerry ice cream that actually
you pretty much did all that.
Won.
I don't think I was involved with that at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you did.
And that played like nationwide?
Yeah, it was Canada-wide, like in Cineplex theaters. That was 2009 or 2010, I think. And it was like this little weird animation for Ben & Jerry's. And it won. It's weird because it's like really you win the gig, basically. You win, like they buy the ad off you. You basically make it for spec. You make all these ads for spec, and then if they want to choose one, they pay you a bunch of money to take the ad, and we got a little bit of money for it. But it's a little bit weird because it's like you do all this work as an ad, and then if it doesn't get bought, then it just is like this weird piece of content that's like not. It was a weird time. Not a weird time. It was cool. Like it was exciting. Like we did a few of them. We did like an ING Direct banking one. I remember you and Krista were in that one, and you're like dragging this bank behind you. That was actually like I thought that was pretty cool. Like for the time, I thought we did some cool effects where you're like literally like carrying a bank behind you. We should put it on the channel actually. It's not like they're gonna get mad about it or anything. And then we did one for like a mobile phone. What was that? It was old. Like, if we think of it now.
That one was cool because we went to Tofino.
Yeah, we went to Tofino and you were like a pirate and you were trying to find this treasure. It was actually, I don't know, I think the concept was good. And I think a lot of these, pretty much everyone we made were like at least like a finalist in the thing, like, a top 5, which means nothing. You get like $50 or something if you become a finalist. But we did a couple more animated ones, like that Trigger X, like, fishing. Remember that fishing one?
Oh yeah.
And we had a bunch of voices in it. That was really really cool actually. I thought. We did a Rug Doctor one, animated one. I don't know. We actually created a lot of them. I should put those on as sort of like maybe part of the archive thing.
Yeah.
If I can find most of them. Some of them I can't even find because I just kind of kept them on Pop Tent and then they just went under, so I can't even retrieve them off the site, which sucks. But yeah, I'll try to track some of those down. Yeah, I think the Dragon Slayer shorts is pretty funny. It's it was crazy. It's weird how much you learn from like doing. I mean, if the idea was to make like a 2-minute short or even like an ad, like a minute short or like a 30-second ad, like the footage of it, the coverage is crazy. We had it's like 45 minutes of footage.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally irrelevant. Like, you just learn how to get a little bit more like bang for your buck out of like the footage. Like, there's no real need to like have so much coverage. There's a lot of stuff that's just basically the same stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I like our practice of being a little bit more efficient with coverage and stuff. But yeah, what else is going on? I did a little podcast vlogcast. He calls them vlogcasts with Forrest Stevens, Forrest the filmmaker, a local filmmaker from Victoria, who's working on a documentary. We've talked about him a few times on the channel. Really cool guy. I finally like got to talk to him and stuff, and it was cool. It was like we've known each other for a while.
That's cool.
Yeah, I always find that's pretty easy to do once when you follow people like online. It's kind of a weird like you kind of get to know them a little bit like kind of voyeuristically in a weird way.
Yeah.
And then but it does sound kind of creepy, but it's like really that's just kind of how people sort of like create friendships now. Like business in a way too, like business relationships, like or like collaboration relationships actually help out a lot when you have like stuff like this, like channels and podcasts and stuff. You get to kind of like, you know, like if I ever ran into, say, like, you know, I listen to Smodcast a lot. If I ever ran into Scott Mosier or Kevin Smith, which we have before, ran into Scott Mosier like after that podcast show, and it was like, I mean, he had very limited time, but it was like, you didn't have to like, oh, what's your name? Where are you from? Like you kind of, you know these people like on a more creepily weird level.
Yeah.
You know, in jokes and stuff, if you follow them so long. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but it's like, it is. I heard this one thing once on podcasts, especially being a very intimate like relationship.
Yeah.
That you build in your own head. And people can listen to podcasts like for 2 hours, where like the chances of somebody watching like a vlog for 2 hours is like, that has to be to like extreme fandom sort of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's podcasts are kind of like, you know, sort of like music. You can do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Video sort of demands your full attention to a degree. A podcast, you can go for a walk or a run or something. That's a little bit harder to do with video.
Yeah, for sure.
The audio, and also there's something more intimate about just straight audio. You're still in the case of, say, Smodcast, when you're like, there's some stories, that's what it is, storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're hearing it, you're like when you're reading, you're kind of making it up. You're setting the stage in your brain too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. No, but anyway, the vlogcast with Forrest was really good. We kind of rambled about stuff that's kind of like pertinent to YouTube and creating more stuff. Like, actually, you're a little bit more removed from it, but what's your thoughts on the new YouTube, the big go down, shakedown?
Well, you told me some numbers that you have to reach and stuff with the ads, but I 100% subscribe to the idea that, especially at our level, you know, not a big channel at all, very small channel, it means very little to us.
Yeah,
we're not making $30,000 a year on YouTube. Way less than that. So,
but you're also talking about ads, like, you know, we're not making $30,000 on ads,
on ads, and sort of like this kind of like delusion of grandeur. When you think, you know, you have a channel, let's say, you know, you have a couple hundred subs and stuff, but you're worried about your ads. You shouldn't be worried about your ads. You should be worried about your content and building your audience, building your brand.
Yeah, I've actually, you know, really believed in that thought for a long time, and I've had not blowback to the point of like that I care, that I'm crazy, but it's, you know, I just really think about growth and like audience building. I really, like, I even told Forrest, is like, we don't even put a lot of ads on our videos. especially like the skippable ones in the front, I kind of avoid those like the plague. I really think if somebody's clicking on something, especially on a suggested video or something, and they're trying to, you're getting discovered for the first time, you're getting your first impression, the last thing I want to have is a Hyundai ad. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want them to watch that first. Like, I mean, I also
believe in this kind of like sort of this this punk rock aspect to the internet and YouTube and stuff. It's like kind of ruled by the youth. It has this ability to be sort of rebellious. Mm-hmm. There's nothing sexy about putting a Honda ad in front of your video, and that's a completely like sort of aesthetic thing where.
Well, I said Hyundai, not Honda.
No, what I'm saying is that like that is completely not punk rock.
No, it's like it. If anything, like it. Yeah, it's the most. Yeah, I totally know what you mean, and I actually I didn't really think of that angle of it, and I'm glad you said that because it's so anti-punk rock. It's like it's.
And I don't want to be. I mean, like I hate being the I don't want to be like one of these like, I don't sell out. Like that's bullshit.
Oh no.
Like, but.
Oh well, you have different levels of selling out though too. Like it's like, I mean, I think there is a level of, I mean, you know what I mean? Like I hate the word sellout too. But I think there's a level of sellout where it's like, I think in a weird way having just ads on your video is the ultimate sellout in a weird way. Like,
well, what ultimately is ridiculous is the fact that. Again, this is just based off our channel. Like yearly, what is the channel currently bringing in? Like if we, like let's say, like before these ad changes.
Well, actually, before sort of like the first adpocalypse, what they call it.
Yeah. Just throw out a number. Just throw it just a random. Like you don't have to be right on.
We were making probably like $400, $500 a year.
A year. Okay, so.
And then now we're probably making, like, I don't know, maybe I read it wrong, and I told Forrest this too, and I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble because I don't think you're supposed to, like, spill how much money you make, but I think we made $45 this year. Like, it's went way down, and it's like, is it even...
But even, okay, so even, let's say $500 a year, which is actually way higher than I thought.
Well, this is years ago, though. Like, we haven't hit
but,
that
like,
in a long
even
time.
that, so you're going to compromise... this sort of punk rock sort of aspect, punk rock, for $500 over a year. You divide that by how many weeks in a year? 52, I think, right? 54. Mm-hmm. Like you're talking $10 a week. Like, is that Honda ad really worth it? I don't think so.
I just think there's way better ways to make money.
And also, no one's looking at that ad. I don't have ad blocker or anything on my phone, but when I do a YouTube ad and it says skip ad, like you're hitting it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
100% of the time. So I'm not sure how, I mean, obviously the ads are working for, the big channels.
Yeah, to a point, but I think that's why they're cleaning it up.
Are companies still just like shoveling money to ads going, I guess this is working. Let's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or is it still just this, the ad game is just still like archaic where big companies like Honda and Hyundai, are they just our advertising budget's $1 billion this year. Let's just, here's 500 mil to YouTube. Like, I guess that's what they're still doing because who in their right mind is watching an entire skippable ad?
Yeah.
No one. Like it's built on an infrastructure of BS.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but
yeah,
it's built on this.
I see where you're coming from.
It's built on this idea that, like, it's got to be sustainable. It's got to be, people actually have to be interested in these ads.
Yeah.
But then again, like, why?
But I think the main thing is that they're worried that they're going to have people, like, walking around a forest and showing dead bodies. Like, that's kind of like why all this stuff's happening.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I mean, let's be honest. YouTube can do whatever the hell they want. Yeah. They could be like, well, we're not going to do ads ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
But, I mean, they're looking to make money too, right? So that's how they make money.
That's the risk of playing ball. Like, yes, YouTube is the like video platform. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't, like, that's but it is it is a business. It is a platform that you know you're putting your content on it. It's not yours. It's your content, but it's not your platform.
Yeah.
So they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. It's like not your real estate.
You can't really complain about it. It's just...
But what I really want to, like, you know, if anybody ever listens to this, if I can hit one younger person that's like, oh, I'm not even going to bother starting a channel. What's the point? What do you say to that? I really, really want to just stress that if you love making videos, you like making movies, you want to make a vlog, you want to talk of reviews, movie reviews, and you're worried that, oh, now there's no point. If you have any inkling that there's no point to do it, you're absolutely doing it for the wrong reasons, and maybe you shouldn't start a channel. But I just really want to hit that if you love doing this in any way, or just you have to make movies or you have to make shorts, anything video related, and you're worried that, oh, but now I'm not gonna like make money on YouTube, you just don't even think about that. Just
when we first picked up a camera and we were, you know, we still do it, you know, shooting some stupid thing in the backyard.
I mean, we've been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah, no, but when we first did it, were we like, oh my God, I can't wait to slap a Honda ad in front of this. Like, people don't understand how easy they have it now.
It makes us sound like really old, but like, yes, like.
But also in the fact that you're 15 years ago. Well, shit, no, actually closer to 20 years ago, we're shooting our first stuff, and if you told me it's like, oh yeah, 4,000 people are going to watch this, like 4,000 sets of eyeballs are going to watch this. Mm-hmm. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, I want 5.
Yeah, that's
like I'd be happy with 5 strangers.
That's anybody who came up like kind of pre-YouTube or even before sort of like the internet like really blew up. Is we're showing our shorts to a maximum of about 5 people, 5 to 10 people, and mostly maybe family, friends. The platform you have now with YouTube or any of these, like, you know, even Vimeo and all that, is crazy to think about. Like, I know it's again, like, it just it dates us horribly that we're old, but these kids these days, they do not understand. Like, it wasn't even that long ago. It was maybe like,
off my lawn.
What?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. But like, it's seriously like, how long ago did ads even come on YouTube? It was within my time of being on YouTube. I don't even remember. I don't even remember when the ads came on because I didn't care. I cared so little about it, and I still have that kind of attitude.
Yeah. So it'd be one thing if I can see, but I don't think it would. It's not going to be really affecting these people that are making, you know, $500,000 a year on YouTube, right? Because they make the guidelines, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
like, so people... it's not. I could see. Yeah, if you're making your livelihood and you're making 60, 70K a year on YouTube, but those guys aren't going to affected by the new rules. So
if this inspires any younger person or whatever to just restart, like, you know, do your channel no matter what. Like, if you're thinking that maybe there's no point, just do it, right, Dan? Is that kind of what we're getting at? Don't worry about ads.
You just, all you're worried about should be eyeballs.
Well,
eyeballs
and
on your work.
And making great stuff.
Yeah, and concentrate on making good content. Again, you use YouTube where it shines.
Yeah.
Tutorials,
ads and stuff
how to make something, how to do anything, how to do anything is all there. Pick up a camera, or you know, you have a laptop, like whatever your creativity points you in what direction. But there's just so much information out there that you can get quickly to get working on stuff.
Totally. Start your channel today. There's never been a time.
There's nothing punk rock about ads. Don't worry about that.
There's never been a better time to start a new channel, in my opinion, because everybody's going to be abandoning it, and you are going to be one of the people that are like, you know what, I'm just gonna make my stuff because, you know what, I love doing this, and like I want to start another channel. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that simple. Go do it. Go do your stuff. Head down. Put your head down and don't worry about freaking YouTube ads.
Tune out the noise. I can't believe this output. When did we? Well, it's like last year we had like 12 or something.
Yeah. Anyway,
we've done more in 6 months than we did in like 4 years.
Anyway, this has been good. I'll talk to you later. And you've been listening to Nimpods, aka the Francis Brothers. Check us out on YouTube, the greatest platform to build an audience.
Wait,
not
watch
so
that
good
Honda
to get
ad first.
money.
Watch the Honda ad.
Watch the Honda ad and
then watch us.
Go to francisbrothersfilms.com/YouTube. We'll see you in the next video. Out.